In this video, we're going to give you our initial thoughts and review of the S&B Filters cold air intake for the 5th gen Toyota 4Runner. Hi, I'm Mark with Trailer Sale Productions, and this is our 2015 Toyota 4Runner. Now, the 4Runner is not made to be a race car. It's not even the fastest vehicle on the road by a long shot. However, we keep adding weight to it for more of our overlanding and just adventures in general, and it's starting to bog it down. When we first got the vehicle, we were able to squeeze out 19-20 miles a gallon. Now we're lucky if we can get 15, and we're still on stock size tires. So we're starting to do things that just help us out. One, we've gotten the rooftop tent off the top and we've put it on a trailer. That's helped out quite a bit. But we've also added a lot of weight with bumpers and skid plates and rock sliders, and we needed a little bit more performance out of it. Now, to get rid of some of the sluggish feel of the throttle, we did an iDrive throttle controller, which we absolutely love. We're now 2 months into owning it and it has been fantastic. You can check out the video for that in the link above. So to get more performance out of the stock engine, we decided to actually check out some cold air intakes. What we came across was the S&B Filters cold air intake for the Toyota 4Runner. Now, they had first marketed this as for the 4Runner and the FJ Cruiser. However, they found out that the box itself is too tall for the FJ Cruiser. So in January, they stopped making this intake, which was frustrating because I wanted to get this intake in January and March and June and July, and they had stopped making it. So I actually reached out to TRD Jon. He had this intake right here, and he told me he was going to be taking it out. So I told him I wanted to buy it from him. Jon sent it my way. Hey dude, what's up?
What you looking for?
I'm actually waiting for a package to come from Florida.
Like that one?
Probably that one, yeah. So once we got the intake installed, first thing we did was go take it on a test drive. Now, on the inside of the vehicle, most of the time when you're just cruising, you're not even gonna notice it. Tara has told me time and time again that she's forgotten that we even installed it until that one point where I decided to really get on the throttle. Let's see how loud this thing is. So here's Takeoff from a light. One of the things that also concerns people about getting something that is louder on a vehicle is not just how it sounds inside the vehicle to you when you're driving, but also how it sounds to other people. And even just on a normal pass, it's really not that noticeable. So the biggest complaint that we have about this intake is the size of the air box. Now, granted, that size of air box allows that air to pass all the way around that filter and get in wherever it can. The new version of this has actually come out after making this video, so need to check with S&B Filters to get more details on that. What we do know about the current version of this is that it does use the exact same filter. So this should work just the same way as the new one. Looking at their website, there's not many differences that we can see. I don't see any differences in the actual intake tube itself. I do see some major differences with the box, including they got rid of the screws. It's actually now just a pop open clear top. And the box itself is not only shorter, but it looks to be smaller. One of the other questions that we've gotten is, will this work with a snorkel? Now, we don't have a snorkel, so we're not sure. One of the things that is different from the stock intake is it has a little baffle piece on the stock intake to keep mud and stuff from getting into the intake. The S&B Filters does not have that, but it still uses that same fender access to get its air. So what I've been told from a couple people now is that when you put a snorkel in, you have to get rid of that piece anyway. While it makes sense that you'd be able to put a snorkel onto this intake, there are a couple of concerns. One, the bottom of this box is not sealed. There are actually holes for bolts to go through that you actually bolt it down to, or just access. You'd want to seal those up. Also, while most of the box does fit together really tight, I would want to make sure that under pressure that water couldn't get in. That being said, it seems like this thing is sealed up pretty good. With aftermarket intakes, you have two options. You have a dry, reusable intake that can be kind of brushed off and vacuumed off. What we have in this one is actually an oiled intake filter. And with the oiled intake filter, you can actually physically clean it with a cleaner. And then once it dries up, you can add oil to it. The bad thing is that as much as this intake really wants to give all the air it can to the engine just has no idea what to do with it. So we're looking at a couple of options. The first option is to go back to URD and get their mass airflow calibrator. The second option that we have for tuning this thing is to actually have someone remap the air-fuel ratios in the ECU. We're going to be testing it out over the next couple of months, and we will do a follow-up video, especially once we get some kind of tune in here. So if you found this video helpful, go ahead and give us a like. And if you have any questions or want to know anything more about the S&B Filters intake or anything under our hood, just let us know. How to make the most awkward video because I don't have coffee yet. That's what's wrong with this morning. It gives you that growl that you really want, that I am working for you. Sounds like a political campaign. S&B Filters, cold air intake. We're working for you. Do I redo the entire video now that I've got the underhood lights on? I'm gonna go with no, because it's hot out here.